Alright, so I got out of Iron Lung a couple of hours ago. Okay, me and my dad, we went to go watch it together, and I'm going to give my dad's thoughts on it first. Now, I made sure to thoroughly ask him, was it a good movie or was it a bad movie? And he said it was good. He said it was a good movie, but he did attach a little critique. He said the ending was a little too fast paced. Now, he didn't elaborate as much as I'm gonna elaborate. Those were just the words he said. Okay, he said he liked the movie and it was good, but the ending was fast paced. And he's gonna go look into Iron Lung now. Okay, he was curious about this spiked his curiosity. He said he was also surprised because he knows Markiplier is an influencer, so he wasn't surprised. He was shocked to go into a movie that ended up like this. So my dad's thoughts now validate my thoughts, which I'm going to go into. But before I go into what I liked about the movie, I'm gonna start with what I didn't like or what I think could have been better, just to show that I'm not completely biased at all. So disclaimer before I get into my part. I've never played or watched Iron Lung. I went into this movie completely blind on whatever, the contents of the game were or whatever the universe, withheld. Okay, I had no idea. So like I said, went into this completely blind. So the first thing I want to start with is how many camera cuts there are. There is a lot of camera cuts and some of them can be very unnecessary. Two nitpicks I have is when it keeps cutting to the water kind of dripping from the top of the submarine. That can feel a little unnecessary because sometimes there's a little bit too much of that to the point where it's like, okay, we get it, there's water dripping, you don't need to say it, we can hear it in the background, we don't need to see it every 2 seconds. Also, another nitpick I have is when the little humanoid corpse blood monster is kind of goes back and the convict wants to go grab the fire hose or fire hydrant or whatever it's called. He wants to go grab that and then there's a camera cut, of him grabbing it, from a certain angle. I felt that was a little unnecessary. That's kind of one that's, stayed in my mind. A visual critique I have has to do with the flash camera, which I loved, by the way, but this is kind of just one thing I had. There were some points in time where I couldn't really tell what was going on in the photo, but the convict knew what was going on. Specifically, when he sees something after getting the sample, he sees something, watching him inside the camera, and he kind of is like, whoa, there's something watching me. And I was kind of looking at it, and I that sparked in my head, I thought I saw something, but I really could not tell. Now I don't know if I was just looking in the wrong spot, but from what I was seeing, I really could not see what was looking at him. I thought I saw something, but it just wasn't clear to me. Now a nitpick scene I have a little bit of a gripe with is when he's talking with the imaginary demon girl or whatever, and he's kind of talking to her, and he kind of already thinks oh, she might be imaginary, she might not be imaginary. I would have liked if he had just no thought in general that she could possibly be imaginary. I would have liked if the convict would have just thought she was real through the whole time, because then I feel like the reveal that she's not actually there to help him would have paid off better. For me, I had already thought that she might not be real, but I feel like the convict kind of already having that thought kind of validated my initial thought. So I would have liked to have seen the convict build a little quick connection right there with the imaginary girl, so that when she's revealed to be a evil bitch, he could have been oh my, it would have hurt me better. Another nitpick I have is when Simon's kind of carrying around this little trinket thing. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know the significance of that thing, and I was kind of expecting to get some sort of backstory or explanation as to what it was. I thought it was one of those little amber things, and he had there was a mosquito in there, that he was carrying around, because I know that this was a post-apocalyptic world, so stuff like that would probably be pretty necessary or important. I thought he was carrying that around, but he was kind of cradling it like a baby, so then I was like, okay, this might be a little more important. So I would have liked to get a little bit more of an explanation or backstory that on whatever that was. Now obviously it wouldn't have to be a whole scene, big scene, but I would have liked to have seen it at some point in one of those flashbacks as to what it was. Maybe it was there and I just missed it, but I don't remember seeing anything that showed me how significant this little this little trinket was. My final official critique has to do with pacing, pacing of certain parts. Some parts I feel like could have been cut down a little bit. One example would be when he's going through the crawl space. I feel like some of that probably could have been cut down a little bit. Obviously you don't cut out the whole thing, but I feel like it could have been trimmed just a slight bit. And then the pacing of the ending, I feel like the ending ended very abruptly. Throughout the whole movie, I felt like I was understanding what was happening as things were going on, despite having no prior knowledge to whatever happens in the game. But then when the ending came around, it kind of just ended, and I was a little bit confused as to what the hell happened. Like, the ending wasn't bad, but I feel like I could have used just a little bit more of elaboration, like maybe like an extra minute or two kind of showing me what the hell just happened, because I was a little bit confused. Now I got two unofficial criticisms. First of all, when Ava's talking to Simon inside the little shuttle, inside the submarine, why doesn't she just do this when talking to him, okay? Instead of going back and expending extra energy by wiping it, every 2 seconds, why not just hold the rag like this so that the blood can just trickle down on top of the rag and sit on it and sink into the rag, and you can just do this the whole time. First of all, this is it's comfortable. I feel like it's more comfortable than going down like this, and also you're not hurting your posture as much. And second of all, it's just, you're expending way less energy by just holding the rag there and letting the blood trickle on top of it. And my second unofficial nitpick is, how the hell did Simon navigate through that whole ocean and tunnel system without crashing into a single wall? Like, how did that happen? Okay, like I see with my both eyes open, and I still be running into things. Simon was pretty much blind like this. Okay, he was operating off coordinates while mapping out systems and only being able to see the camera every once in a while. He didn't crash not once. Yeah, you could say he was taking baby steps, but I feel like one little into a wall, one tiny slam or run into the wall would have been necessary, because there's no way you went through the whole thing not being able to properly see what was in front of you the whole time and not crash once. Now, moving past my criticisms, let me get into the things I did like, okay? And I liked a lot. Now, when I was watching this movie, I was really analytically thinking. My brain was functioning at 2000%. I was trying my best to find things that I might not like, and I was really trying to find things to critique, and I couldn't do it, okay? I was having a hard time. And the reason I was doing that was because I really didn't want to come off biased. The first thing I want to touch on is how well this movie followed Show Don't Tell, okay? Because first of all, a long time ago, I watched this analytical video talk about The Mandalorian Season 1 and how good it is because it follows Show Don't Tell to a T. So that always runs through my mind now ever since I watched that video. So I was watching this movie thinking about Show Don't Tell, and I think Markiplier did a wonderful job following that. When things were introduced, things weren't just explained right then and there, which happens a lot more than you think. When he talks about Filament Station, we have to piece together what that is about through dialogue that occurs throughout the movie. Like I said before, I went into this movie not knowing a single thing about Iron Lung, just the fact that it's a game that Markiplier played at a certain point in time. So I felt like as I was watching the movie, I was gaining a very good understanding of what this world was about just through watching. The only monologue I remember somewhat hearing was at the very beginning, which I'm not gonna lie, my brain was kind of fried at that point in time. I was fuzzed out, okay? Not fried, I don't smoke, but it was just fried because, I don't know, I was thinking about other things. So I don't remember a single thing that the guy said at the beginning. So I don't know if he helped with whatever the world was at that certain point in time. So I was kind of just going based off of my knowledge and picking things up as I was watching the movie. Another praise I have is how well done the suspenseful scenes are. I think those were the best scenes of the movie by far. When it got crazy, okay? When things were shaking, I was locked in. When something was tapping along the submarine, I was like, whoa, what is that? Every time there was a suspenseful scene, I was locked in for that, and I think those were very well done. Specifically the scene where he kind of gets his concussion, he gets knocked back and bangs his head. I was like, yo, that was nuts. Another praise I have has to deal with the visuals. When he was navigating through the place, I swear I could see every little divot in his finger. That looked crazy. When they're in that blood lake and there's that giant thing, that blood thing coming down on him, I was like, what the hell is that going on, bro? That looked crazy. Those visuals looked really, they look pretty damn good. My final official appraisal has to do with that little flash camera system that he was using to navigate through the ocean. I was locked in every single time a flash appeared on that screen because I was trying to see what was going on in this underwater, under-blooder place. I really wanted to see what the hell was going on. So I really liked how much they utilized that because it spiked my interest. Every time that flash went off, I was like, whoa, what's going on in there? I love the utilization of that thing and how much they used it. I also like how early they introduced that little humanoid thing, the humanoid blood monster thing that kind of walked behind the thing that, the convict was about to hit with the fire hose or fire hydrant. Like, I liked how they kind of introduced that early, because that had me thinking, what the hell was that, pretty much the entire time until they finally revealed what it was towards the end. Even then, I still don't know of like completely what it was. Somebody explain that to me, because I'm not entirely sure, but I think I know. And my last compliment, okay, past the unofficial, past the official, has to do with how locked in my dad was on this movie. I've never seen my dad so locked in on what the hell was happening before. And I've watched him watch a lot of shit. I've never seen him this locked in. He was like this at like when the ending was happening, as the ending scenes were happening, when when Simon's arm gets ripped off, my dad, I heard him gasp. He was like, like I know he hates that stuff too. So when that came off, he gasped a little bit, and I've never seen him like this. While watching, I was really shocked as to like how much he was invested in what was going on. Now to wrap this whole thing up, because I've been recording this for like a little over an hour now. It's way too long. I know I'm inefficient. I don't know why I'm going so slow, but I think the biggest highlight of this was the world building. I think Mark did a great job building this world. Coming from an outside perspective, not playing Iron Lung and having no knowledge of it, I feel like I gained a pretty decent understanding of the world of Iron Lung, of what the hell was happening, why certain things are like that. Being able to piece what was going on in the world and figuring things out, what the hell Filament Station was, understanding what place the world was in through dialogue was a wonderful addition. I think Markiplier did that great. I think this is a big W for Mark and for the game developers, because for Markiplier's perspective, I mean, this is a big jump towards like a directing future. I don't know if he'll pursue a future in directing. He might. I know he's been doing this, type of thing for a while now. So I think this is a big step in the right direction for him. Okay, he showed a lot of potential, with a game movie adaptation. And for the developers of the game, I mean, I feel like they could have gained a bunch of new fans, okay, that might not know what Iron Lung is before that and only might know Markiplier, or maybe just people that don't know Markiplier or the game and just got introduced to this new thing. Because I mean, my dad, he doesn't know everything about Markiplier. He didn't know what the hell Iron Lung was, but now he wants to look into what this game is, and now he wants to play it. I'm excited to see what the future holds for director Mark Fishbach. Okay, I'm excited to see what Directiplier has got going on for his future, okay, because I think he did a great job with this movie, and it's a big step in the right direction for him. You guys let me know what you thought about the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like? Don't stop. Don't do that. Did you like it or not? Okay, tell me what you liked. Tell me what you did like. What did you think about the movie? Because I liked it. Did you like it? I don't know. Tell me about it. I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.